Steve Tober back on Sideline Chatter Spotlight. Looking at boys basketball 2013 with Martin Cox of Thirst for Knowledge. We talked about the state a little bit, some of the top players. Martin, let's look at a couple of the counties we cover closely at Sideline Chatter. We'll begin with Essex County. We talked about Seton Hall in our first segment. I have them number one as the early season is underway. There's some interesting teams, though. Bloomfield, North Eastside, North Tech, maybe Columbia, Montclair. Now, you saw Montclair the other day. Maybe a team that Jerry Hill, who used to coach at Columbia in his first year, could be a team that might surprise.
Oh, absolutely. Montclair, I think, could slide into the top 5 in Essex County.
North Eastside, a team which a few years ago seemed like on the verge of some, maybe a mini dynasty in Group 3. Then had some internal strife, which even the coaches would admit to. A couple players transferred out. A couple more players transferred out after that. Then they brought in this young nucleus last year, Ishmael Sonago, Jamar Gilbert, some young guns, and now they're all matured into juniors. That could be a team to watch. North Eastside, certainly in a Group 3 situation, or certainly in the counties.
Steve, I believe that North Eastside could be in the final for the North Jersey Group 3.
Team North Tech under Joe Jordan, a former St. Patrick's assistant. Dwayne Merrill, a player. Another, we talk about Bembry on a statewide scene from the Patrick School. Dwayne Merrill from North Tech is a player a lot of people don't talk about. Great offensive player. And although they lost Jared Hall to Hudson Catholic, kind of an interesting transition there. Jared Hall transfers to play under where his brother RJ played, or the coach who played under, Nick Marinello, who played at Bloomfield Tech, RJ. Right. But Nick now has the younger Hall. And Raquan Kelly comes over to North Tech, who I'm told will be eligible right away. Not a trade, but an interesting interchange of players. North Tech is another one of those teams that kind of flies under the radar. Jay Gomes, our buddy at NJ Hoops newsletter, picked North Tech to win the section in North through Group 1. What do you know about North Tech?
Haven't seen North Tech much, but I'm hearing great things from guys like yourself about North Tech, so they could have a great season. University,
a team coached by Elijah Allen, made it to the Essex County final last year. Surprisingly, Elijah Brown, Akram Wadley, 2 excellent guards. Elijah Allen, former St. Benedict's, former FDU star, has really maximized his talent at University.
Right. They played last year also
Asbury Park.
Yes, played Asbury Park. So University, he does a phenomenal job there, and they could surprise again. They have a history of getting hot late in the season, right around the Essex County tournament each year. So they could have another great year. And
a team we're both interested in watching get going in the early season. They have some big games early on. Bloomfield under Pat Brunner. This should be the season if the Bengals are going to really ascend in Group 4. They had a tough loss to Patterson Eastside 2 years ago with the buzzer on a Patterson Eastside team that went on to win Group 4. A very strong team that was. And they were upset by Wayne Valley the next year. Now that's their time. They added 6'8" Jordan Arthur to their backcourt of Isaiah Daka, Jaleel Jimenez, and Jamil Patterson. This could be the year for Bloomfield.
After coming out of the rugged Essex County tournament, they should be prepared for the postseason also.
And Irvington could be another team to watch with Shakir Justin, a fine 6'7" big man. Eugene Bam Robinson does a solid job with Irvington, and maybe the team to watch. But we certainly have Seton Hall Prep as the number 1 team going in the early stages of the season. Let's turn to Union County, Martin. We talked about Roselle Catholic. We talked about the Patrick School a little bit. Linden, Phil Colicchio, he's got the big guy there, Quadre, and more, and they added a couple of other players. Phil's teams always maximize their talent.
Right. He's still got great young guards, and youth always hurts you, but they'll have a season under their belts, and I think Linden could challenge. They will absolutely, positively be one of the big 4 in Union County this year.
How about Elizabeth? We'll have to see how Coach Chris Ballard's team does. Undersized, but did well in tournaments last year, and another team that seems to maximize itself.
The Minutemen owned Linden last year with their small team, great athleticism, and let's not forget they played for the Group 4 title, which they were winning all game until running out of legs in the 4th quarter to Atlantic City.
Dan Doherty at Scotch Plains, another team that's had some recent history. Charles Oliver a couple of years ago. Really a team that has done pretty well in terms of state sectional play the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I think Scotch Plains will be good, but I still think that the team that could surprise everyone in Union County, they won't be in the top 4, will be the Westfield Blue Devils. A lot of depth, a lot of experience. They have played varsity the last couple of years, and this could be the breakout year for the Blue Devils.
Darryl Palmieri, who was a former assistant to one of my favorite coaches, Roger Blind at Milburn a few years ago, had a little stint at Parsippany. Now he ends up down there at Westfield. And that's a school that does have some basketball success at different times through the years.
Yes.
And we'll see how they shape up. Dayton is another team out of Springfield who has done well in recent years.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about a little bit of Morris County, just in terms of a coach we're not going to see anymore on the sidelines. Jimmy Baglin at Mendham, had seen him for so many years, won all those games, and it has some Plainfield background and played at Plainfield, and no more Jim Baglin in Morris County.
Yeah, Jimmy won many Morris County titles. I believe he's the only guy to ever win 4 in a row, which he did. Jimmy won over 668 games all time and was the all-time winningest coach from West Jersey. He's now retired. He still remains the athletic director, certainly at the school.
And in Morris County, you've got Joe Timms at Chatham and Pat Barron at West Morris, Sean Hone at Morristown, some of the players in Morris County. But I'm going to pin you down here more. Martin, how about your all-Union County team for this year? I got to start with Bembry and Roberson. Maybe a Quadri Moore. Would you have a Hakeem Santil or an Isaiah Lewis of the Patrick School on there?
Absolutely. Each of us is going to have a very hard time in naming the top 3 Union County teams this year, first, second, and third team, because I think it'll be another exciting year in Union County, which is the host for the oldest continuous county tournament in the state.
And who do you predict will be in the Union County tournament final this year?
Oh, that's going to be really hard to say, but I do believe the top 4 seeds will be, not necessarily in this order, but Roselle Catholic, Linden, Elizabeth, and the Patty School.
And in Essex County, remains to be seen, but I could see Seton Hall Prep, Bloomfield, Newark Eastside, and Newark Tech, but plenty can happen along the way.
And I'm still convinced that the sleeper in Essex County is Montclair.
A lot of people will hope you're right on that, Martin. A team that played Camden in one of the memorable games in 1982 at the Meadowlands.
Absolutely.
That they lost to with the great Bobby Lester. The 86 team, one of my favorites, with Kyle Anglin and Freddie Matthews and a bunch of lost to Camden, and double overtime at Rutgers with Lewis Banks, who went to Cincinnati.
Absolutely.
But they've had some tough times in the States since then, and also in the county. So maybe this could be an interesting year for Jerry Hill, who's a great guy, coaching the Montclair Mounties.
Montclair has been hurt like a lot of other public schools with kids leaving to go and play at other places, but I think this year it could begin to start to come back together and kids will begin to return home to the community.
Yeah, great point. Whether you talk about the Costner brothers who went to Seton Hall Prep, Gary Wallace, all from Montclair, who did not wind up playing at the public school. But well, Martin Cox, we're looking forward to this season continuing with a lot of excitement. It's great to be in the winter campaign. You get in those warm gyms, enjoy a little excitement with the basketball, and enjoy following all you do with the state with Thirst for Knowledge. And Martin Cox, certainly a Union County and statewide aficionado. I want to thank everybody out there for logging on to Sideline Chatter. This has been Sideline Chatter Spotlight, brought to you by Connor Chevrolet. I'm Steve Tober. Enjoy your hoops this winter season.